Hey everyone, welcome back. I need to tell you about the loneliest year of my life, when I had 847 Facebook friends, a full contact list, a busy calendar, and absolutely no one who really knew me. I was surrounded by people constantly, at work, at church, at social events, always smiling, always engaging, always fine. But inside, I felt completely invisible, unknown, isolated in a crowd. This is about the loneliness epidemic nobody talks about, and how one verse showed me that God sees the isolation we hide, and He doesn't leave us there. I moved to a new city for a job opportunity. Fresh start, new adventure. I did everything right. I joined a church, I went to networking events, I said yes to every invitation. I was friendly, outgoing, personable. I had acquaintances everywhere. People I'd grab coffee with, colleagues I'd eat lunch with, neighbors I'd wave to. But I didn't have friends, not real ones. Nobody knew I was struggling. Nobody knew I'd lie awake at night feeling disconnected from everyone. Nobody knew that I'd sit at dinner parties, laughing and talking, while feeling like I was watching myself from outside my body. I had hundreds of conversations that never went below surface level. How are you? Good. You? Everyone was busy. Everyone was fine. Nobody was real. I'd scroll through social media and see people posting about their friend groups, their deep connections, and I'd wonder, what's wrong with me? I tried harder, hosted game nights, organized outings, initiated conversations, but everything felt forced, transactional, shallow. I was exhausted from performing. The loneliness became physical. I'd come home from social events where I'd talk to dozens of people, and feel this crushing emptiness. I started declining invitations because it hurt too much. Being around people and still feeling lonely was worse than actual solitude. Holidays were torture. Everyone posting about family gatherings, friends celebrations. I'd put up a photo to look normal, then spend the rest of the day alone. I'd go to church, surrounded by hundreds of people singing about community, and feel like the loneliest person in the room. I tried talking to people about it. You should join a small group. Have you tried volunteering? I was doing all of that. It wasn't working. The deeper truth, I had people around me, but I didn't feel known. I didn't feel seen. I could disappear tomorrow, and maybe people would notice eventually, but it wouldn't really matter to anyone. I started wondering if something was fundamentally broken in me, if I was just one of those people destined to be alone. It all came crashing down on a random Tuesday night. I'd had a rough day at work, and I realized I had nobody to call, nobody I could text and say, "Today was rough, can we talk?" I scrolled through my contacts, hundreds of names, but none that felt like the right person. I sat on my couch and just cried, and I prayed, more like yelled at God, "Where are you? I'm doing everything right. Why am I so alone? Why don't I matter to anyone?" I didn't expect an answer, but in that moment of complete brokenness, a verse came to mind, Psalm 68:6, "God sets the lonely in families." And I heard God whisper, "I see you. I know you're lonely, and I'm not leaving you here." I grabbed my Bible and read the whole psalm. It's about God being a father to the fatherless, a defender of the vulnerable, a God who sees the isolated and brings them into belonging. I realized I'd been trying to fix my loneliness through my own efforts, but loneliness isn't just about being around people. It's about belonging, being known, being chosen. And God was saying, "I choose you, I know you, and I'm going to bring you into the family you're longing for." Everything didn't change overnight, but something shifted. I stopped performing, stopped trying so hard to be who I thought people wanted me to be. I started being honest. When someone asked how I was, I said, "Actually, I'm struggling with loneliness." Most people didn't know what to do with that, but a few said, "Me too." Those became my people. I joined a grief support group at church. In that group, I met people who got it, who knew what it felt like to be surrounded by people and completely isolated. We started meeting for coffee, then dinner, then just hanging out. And slowly, I found what I'd been searching for, people who actually knew me. But here's what I learned. Psalm 68:6 isn't just about God bringing people into your life, though He does that. It's about God Himself being your family, your belonging. I'd been so focused on human connection that I'd neglected the one relationship that could actually fill the void, my relationship with God. I started spending real time with Him, not performative prayer, real time, and I discovered I wasn't as alone as I thought. God was there. If you're lonely right now, whether you're physically alone or surrounded by people who don't really know you, hear this. You are seen, you are known, and God sets the lonely in families. Psalm 68:6 is a promise. God is in the business of bringing isolated people into belonging. Sometimes the family He's setting you in starts with Him. Be honest about your loneliness. Stop pretending you're fine. Find one person and tell them the truth. And spend time with the God who promises to never leave you. Thanks for watching. Here are today's reflection questions. Have you ever felt lonely even when surrounded by people? What did that season teach you about the difference between being around others and truly being known? When was the last time you were truly honest with someone about how you're really doing, instead of just saying, "I'm fine"? What's holding you back from that kind of authenticity? Drop your thoughts about the story in the comments below. Your experience might encourage someone else facing the same struggle. If this resonated with you, hit that like button, share this with someone who needs to hear it, and subscribe for more stories about faith, real struggles, and finding hope when you feel most alone.